It's happening right now. The Barbault Basket, the rarest planetary configuration of the 21st century, is at its absolute peak today, July 19th. 4 outer planets locked at exactly 4 degrees of their signs. The most precise, most concentrated window of this entire historic event. And the question everyone is asking me is the same one I want to answer today. Okay, the peak is here. Now what? What actually happens next? What do the next 30 days look like after the most significant astrological moment of our lifetime? That is exactly what this video covers. Stay with me. First, let's be clear about what peaking means. Because it does not mean ending. The Barbault Basket marks the moment the long chaotic cycle we have been living through since 2020 begins to resolve, and a new more constructive era starts to take shape. The energy that once broke things down is now available to build things up, in the world and in your life. Think of it like this. The peak is the moment a seed cracks open underground. You don't see the plant yet. But something irreversible has happened. The direction has changed. What was breaking down is now beginning to build up. This generational alignment launches a 2-year wave of transformation that could redefine society as we know it. The peak is not the end of the story. It is the first sentence of a completely new chapter. So what does that chapter look like for you personally in the next 30 days? The 5 things happening in the next 30 days. Here are the 5 most significant astrological events happening in the 30 days immediately after the basket peak, and what each one means for your personal life. July 22nd, Leo season begins. Leo season starts July 22nd, bringing the perfect energy for boosting your confidence, igniting your personal passions, and embracing a sunnier outlook. After the depth and intensity of the basket's transformation energy, Leo season arrives like the sun coming out after a storm. This is not the time to process, it's the time to emerge. To take the clarity that arrived during the peak and begin expressing it outward. What this means for you, whatever became clear to you during July 19th, 21, a direction, a decision, a version of yourself that is ready to step forward, Leo season is the energy that says, now show up for it. Fully. Unapologetically. Quick note before we continue, if you want to know exactly how each of these events lands in your personal chart specifically, your free moon reading is already in the description. First link. Takes 2 minutes. Grab it now and come back, I'll be here. July 23rd, Mercury goes direct. Mercury stations direct on July 23rd at 16 degrees Cancer. The retrograde that has been scrambling communication, decisions, and forward movement since early July finally lifts. What this means for you, the green light turns on. Everything you've been holding back, the conversation, the decision, the application, the launch, July 23rd is when you begin moving on it. Not recklessly, but forward. If something arrived during the peak that requires action, a realization, an opportunity, a conversation that needs to happen, July 23rd is your starting gun. July 26th, North Node enters Aquarius. The North and South nodes of destiny switch signs on July 26th, entering Aquarius and Leo, pushing everyone to forget about what's popular in favor of what's authentic. This is one of the most personally significant shifts of the post-basket period. The nodes move slowly, they stay in a sign for about 18 months. And wherever the North Node moves, that's the direction your soul's growth is being called toward collectively. North Node in Aquarius means the next 18 months reward originality over conformity. Your authentic contribution over your performative one. The community you build over the audience you chase. What this means for you, if during the basket peak something made clear who you genuinely are versus who you've been performing, this node shift is the cosmic confirmation that the authentic version is the right direction. July 29th, full moon in Aquarius. The full moon on July 29th hits in the same unconventional vein, inspiring innovations and radical growth. This full moon is the basket's first echo. The first major lunar event after the peak. And because it falls in Aquarius, directly opposite Leo where Jupiter is amplifying everything, it is one of the most electrically charged full moons of the year. Full moons bring things to completion. They illuminate what has been building in the dark. And this one, arriving just 10 days after the most significant planetary peak of the century, is going to illuminate specifically what the basket seeded in your life. Pay close attention to what surfaces around July 29th. What becomes visible? What completes? What arrives unexpectedly? This full moon is the basket showing you its first results. The next 30 days overall, building season begins. And then, from late July through August, something shifts in the collective energy that hasn't been felt since before 2020. The chaos you have felt since 2020 is finally coming to a close. Resolution does not mean every difficulty vanishes overnight. It means the tide has turned. The energy that once broke things down is now available to build things up. The next 30 days are not a return to normal. They are the beginning of something that has no precedent in your lifetime. The basket opened a door. Leo season, Mercury direct, the North Node shift, and the full moon are all ushering you through it. The only question is, what are you building? Here's what I want you to understand about everything I just described. Leo season, Mercury direct, the North Node shift, the full moon, all of these events land differently depending on your personal chart. Which house they activate. Which of your natal planets they touch. Where the basket seeded its most concentrated energy in your specific life. Two people can experience the exact same 30 days of astrology and have completely different things surface, because their charts are different. Right now, pause this video. Scroll to the description. Click the first link. It's called Moon Reading. It's free. It takes 2 minutes. Don't keep watching without doing this first, because what you find there will make everything I say next about the next 30 days click into place personally. Thousands of people have used this reading. The most common reaction? Stopping mid-sentence because it described something they had never told anyone. That moment is waiting for you. And here's something your moon reading will show you that we didn't cover in this video, the specific degree of your chart where the basket is landing most powerfully right now. That degree changes everything about how you experience this window. You can only find it in your personal chart. Go. The link is the first one in the description. 2 minutes. Come back after. The basket is peaking today. You are inside the most powerful 72 hours of this configuration. Don't navigate the most significant astrological month of the century without your map. The basket peaked. The tide has turned. And the next 30 days are going to show you, in ways you can actually feel and see, what that means for your life specifically. Leo season brings confidence and emergence. Mercury direct brings forward motion. The North Node shift brings authenticity over performance. And the full moon on July 29th brings the first visible results of what the basket seeded in you during these 3 extraordinary days. Pay attention. Write things down. Notice what arrives, what clears, what becomes suddenly obvious that was foggy before. Drop in the comments, what shifted for you during the peak? What became clear? What arrived unexpectedly in the last 24 hours? I want to know what the basket delivered for your sign. This community is tracking this together in real time, and your experience matters. Share this video with everyone who has been following the basket series. They need to know what the next 30 days hold. Watch for another dramatic turning point around the second Pluto-Uranus trine on November 29th. That is the basket's second wave, and I'll be covering it in full when the time comes. Until then, the building season has begun. What are you building?